Well, we are at the top of the hour, so I will go ahead and get us kicked off today. I'm Mike Solitro, the manager, founder, uh, director of the Accomplished RE Academy here on School. Thank you for joining us. Today's topic was originally titled 12 Creative Ways to Stand Out in Your Market as a Real Estate Agent. I couldn't limit it to just 12, so we've got 16 to go over. And I chose real estate agents specifically, so it's not just for realtors or consultants or real estate specialists or buying professionals or any other moniker that real estate professionals give themselves. So it's real estate agents, so it applies to everybody. But really, what we're talking about, what's actually working now, right now, or going forward in real estate, especially post NAR settlement. Um, that's been dominating a lot of headlines in the last couple weeks and really over the last year plus. So it's a difficult question to answer, but it really had me thinking about what's truly driving results in today's market. So I reflected on my own real estate business, my own real estate related ventures, strategies, and tactics that I've implemented in my business, the successes of my clients, mentors, colleagues, and started making this list. Like I said, I was targeting 12. I couldn't just get there. The more I thought about it, I kind of ended up at 16. These are relevant, they are proven, and they will deliver results. They're not theories or guesses, they're tested tactics that are working right now in real world scenarios for real actual agents. Like I said, some I've used myself, while others from top performing agents that I've worked with, that I respect, that I've collaborated with in some way. So no matter where you are, whether you're just starting out, building momentum, or looking to dominate, these can help you stand out one way or another. Over the next 20 or 30 minutes, I'll walk you through each. You'll get actionable ideas to implement today going forward, from marketing ideas to ways to grab attention in innovative ways, build trust, loyalty with your clients, your leads, desired clients. The goal today is to ensure that you leave the session today not just inspired, but with a clear path of action. A lot of times we'll get through information like that's great, but what can I do? We'll talk about things you can do today going forward. So let's dive in. Uh, I want to first want you to think about one thing. Which of these can make the biggest impact in business right now? I don't suggest trying all of them. You don't have to try just one, but don't try to implement all 16. Pick a handful, see what we can implement today over the next month as we are looking at January coming around the corner already somehow. So let's explore how these ideas can be tailored to your specific situation and make your market work for you. Just a reminder, the Q&A function, not the chat, is the best way to get questions in. I will try to check those as we move in. I will try to update the screen to follow along. I have the six categories here bolded, as well as the 16 topics that we are going to be covering. So I'll try and hit those as well. And first, we are going to start, well, the six categories, go over them. First, branding, client experience, creative marketing. I couldn't think of anything better there. Think locally, technology and innovation. Let's get personal rounds out the six. We'll go over the 16 actionable tactics that we can put into your business today. First, develop a unique value proposition. It's something we've talked a lot about, the business foundation. What makes you stand out from the sea of agents that you compete with in your market? Your unique value proposition is your differentiator. What separates you? Your one-line tagline. So UVP identifies what sets you apart. Maybe it's your hyperlocal expertise, your niche markets, your unique services you provide. Maybe it's building off your prior work experience, what you did beforehand, how you serve a specific client. For example, if you specialize in helping first-time home buyers, it could be guiding first-time buyers step by step to find their dream home with confidence. Generally, people who have bought homes or investors, somebody who's seasoned in this, may not be looking for that step-by-step. They might if they have no oversight and want you to do it for them. But a first-time home buyer generally is going to want that step-by-step. So who you work for, what you do, when you do it. I help X by doing Y so they can do this. That's the kind of formula that you can start with. You know, the I help is a little overplayed at this point, so you may want to deviate. That's why I like this one, guiding first-time buyers. It's passive voice, but it doesn't just say I help first-time home buyers. It's a good place to start, and then you can kind of wordsmith it, uh, use some AI tools to make it more compelling and so forth. You really want to create that one sentence statement that highlights your expertise, who you serve, and the problem that you solve. You don't want to talk at people. You want to identify, you want them to think, hey, that's me. I have that problem. This person, this guy, this woman can help me solve it. So use your UVP in your marketing, your strategy, your bios, pitches, everything. You know, what's the one thing that you could do better than anyone else? And start there. You know, how can you incorporate that into your UVP? So this other option under branding, build a personal brand, which again sounds like something that you've likely heard before, but how do you do that? You know, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. That's the starting point. You're not there to tell them what to think, tell them what to say. What do they say when you're not there? Strong personal brand creates trust and recognition both on and offline. Think about consistent headshots, logos, color scheme that reflects your personality. Consistency speaks more, uh, speaks higher than just those things. Because if all of those things are aligned, uh, your clients, your leads are going to think of you as somebody who is very on top of attention to detail. But if all of those things are looked after, imagine how they're going to take care of my transaction, how they are going to able to solve my problems, help me get to where I want to go. So you want to develop a cohesive brand by using the same design elements across, again, the things we talked about, headshots, logos, but your website, your business cards, your social. You know, create a logo and tagline that maybe match your UVP. So now I've got that complete alignment with what you're messaging out there, what they're seeing when you're not there to message, and what kind of content supports what you're saying is your value proposition. So think about how you can make your online presence instantly recognizable to potential clients. So using that first time home buyers, where are they? What are they looking for? How is it consistent? Your messaging from your UVP to what you're putting out across all channels, making sure that it speaks to them and there's consistency throughout your messaging. The next bucket is what I'm calling client experience, and there's two tactics here. First, there is offering concierge level service. We've all had that 5-star experience. And so we want to model that, you know, whether it's real estate or not, we want to model that in our business. So imagine being the agent who takes care of everything for their clients. That's you. Uh, that's what you're embodying here. A lot of agents will say that. Very few, I can tell you firsthand, will actually deliver on that. Um, Concierge level service means going above and beyond standard expectations in every possible way for your specific client. What happens a lot of times is agents assume what their clients want, or they have a standard that they deliver to, kind of just a check the box mentality. They feel like they're giving concierge level service, but that concierge level needs to be tailored to that specific client. So, for instance, partnering with a moving company to offer free moving consultations or staging advice to help sellers maximize their property value. If that's useful to that specific client, asking the right questions at the right time and providing these services is something that's valuable. If they're not interested in that, this just becomes a headache or something that you've kind of whiffed on because you put a lot of effort into. You've probably outlaid some revenue, have a financial outlay to make these partnerships happen. But if this partnership is not useful to this specific client, you don't want to make that an option. You want to offer end-to-end support, connecting clients with lenders, organizing cleaning services, small touches, things that make a lasting impression. Whether it's the one making the introduction to all of these individuals, making sure that everyone is showing up for their meetings, the calls are happening. If there's a landscaper or a GC that needs to come in, you are the quarterback of this. You are the one providing that white glove service. You know, think of the time you stayed at the Red, stay at that 5-star accommodations. What types of small things made your stay worth paying that premium? The second under client experience is the host client appreciation events. I like this one because I think it's a great way to connect, stay in front of your past clients. And your past clients are your biggest advocates, or they should be. So show them how much you actually value them. I was talking to somebody this week who bought a house. We kind of joked that once they were under contract, it's like you're not going to hear from your agent until closing day or close to it, or until something falls through the cracks. Uh, because that agent is trying to cash a check. So you don't want your clients to feel like you were they were the most important thing to you until you got paid, and you forgot about them until it's time to get paid again. That happens a lot in real estate. Don't be that agent. So thinking about hosting events, they build loyalty and they always keep you top of mind. Something like a coffee morning, a real estate seminar, even a casual barbecue, something in a park, nothing that needs to be overly elaborate or having any kind of great information necessarily, but you're getting people together, you're exchanging information, you're getting people out of their home. They're seeing your face, they're reminding of the great service because you had the concierge level that delivered them. And now they see this client appreciation event that you're staying top of mind more than just, hey, it's time to change your clock type email. One agent organized that I know a movie night at a local theater. Again, this is a little bit of money up front, but they invited their past clients, free popcorn, a screening of a family-friendly film. Uh, People really appreciate stuff like this, especially if they've got a family and they want to get them out of the house. This is a thought. They don't have to think too much about it. They can just show up and go. So think about what's a fun event you could host this quarter or first quarter next year to bring your clients together. Something that works with your value proposition. If you're working with high-end clients, movie theater idea is probably not going to work. Can you do a wine tasting or something like that? All right, moving on to what I am least proud of, what I'm calling creative marketing. I got two categories here. First, leverage video. Video should be everything that you do. People don't want to just see properties. They want to see you. They want to see who they're going to be working with, especially if they don't know you yet. Video marketing builds trust and engagement, allows people to see you on their terms. I can't tell you how many times I'll talk to agents or people I work with and say, oh, yeah, I've watched XYZ videos. I feel like I know you. And I've never talked to that person. They've watched these videos. They feel like they know my personality. They know my background. They trust me. They might like me. They want to work together from video. So video marketing builds that trust. Create walkthrough tours, for example, market updates, behind the scenes, day in the life. With your clients, use videos to introduce new ideas, to put reminders, summaries together. Some people like videos where they'll watch on silent and just read the closed captioning. So include that where possible. If you're sending a long email, sometimes it's like, hey, if you don't want to read all of this, information is here. There is countless ways to leverage video. There's so many tools to embed it on websites, on emails, text. So use voice and video messaging creatively here. A quick weekly market update can position you as a local expert. There's lots of different social tools. Think about ways to go live, to repackage material. But if you put your face out there, if you're comfortable, or at least force yourself to get on video, you can have a connection with these clients without being there face to face in front of them. Again, it's on their terms, but it's on demand. So something that they would like. Storytelling, specifically listings, but you can do it everywhere. There's a course in the classroom section that I've talked about a few times before that utilizes the Hilda format for storytelling. There's the hero's tale. There's many different frameworks you can use for storytelling. Find one that you like and leverage it. The example here is just for listings, but stories sell. If you just say, this one time I helped somebody buy a house, it went great, you should work with me. It's not the same as painting that picture for that couple who looked at 14 houses. They walked into this property. I was able to get them a showing, even though it was no longer on the market. I was able to talk to the sellers. I got their mortgage approved. I got the attorney, and just give details of an actual story with real events, as opposed to, yeah, this one time I helped this couple buy a house. Thinking of it in terms of a listing again. Every home has a story, so are you telling it? Your listing description should go beyond specs to connect with emotionally with buyers. That's a lot of what real estate especially in the residential market, hinges on that emotional piece. If you're working strictly with investors, multifamily commercial properties, of course, you want to make sure the numbers pencil out. But if it is your traditional single family or your residential property, likely there's going to be an emotional piece to it as well. Of course, the numbers have to work, but there's that emotional piece that should be thought of. Instead of saying something like 3-bedroom home with pool, something like instead, imagine spending summer evenings lounging by your own private oasis, just steps from your amazing kitchen. That all that could be wordsmith, but you're painting a picture as opposed to here's the details. What do you think? Sharing the story of the home's unique features, the specific location, two things that are very unique or are very specific and only attributable to that property. It's the only one at that location, the only one with those specific features. Highlight the lifestyle that it offers. Buyers remember emotional connections more than facts. So keep that in mind with your listings and really anytime you're trying to convey messaging. Think about how storytelling can add to your next listing, to your next client, to your next presentation. Tell stories. People love stories. And don't make it about yourself. Tell stories about clients that may remind them of them, about similar problems, how you solve them for that client so they can unconsciously make that connection. Hey, it's the same problem I have. And he helped this couple. He can help us. If you make yourself the hero of the story, it kind of diminishes the value. Make your clients the hero. You are the guide that got them. Next two categories under Think Local. First, host community-focused content. Be the agent who connects the community. Highlighting local businesses and events builds your authority. I've seen this done poorly many times. Get buy-in from the businesses. Don't just film video of you outside the front or talk about takeout that you got from this restaurant. Look for a real partnership. Highlighting local businesses and events is something to do. Interviewing business owners, having some sort of collaboration. Again, do this in a way where it looks like everyone's excited to be there. There's too many times you'll see on Instagram, you'll see somebody holding a microphone in a local bakery owner's face or a flower shop, and they are not interested in being interviewed, but they're other small business. They think this might be a good idea, so they do it, but put some time into it. Make it fun. Have an event or have it be a reason for the content. Versus here I'm just talking to XYZ business owner. I'm doing this because I'm checking a box. They're doing it because I asked them. There's no other real reason. People aren't going to watch that. They don't care. Host lives. Something with, let's say, an owner of a little coffee shop, share their story while subtly is the important piece here. Because again, you're the guide, you're not the hero in these stories, positioning yourself as a local expert. You don't want to name drop, you don't want to try too hard, but just show that you're an actual person and that you care about this other business owner, this other community pillar that you're talking to. So think about maybe one local business or event that you can feature next or start with, or how can you help that person who is putting on the event or that local business get the spotlight if there isn't a natural collaboration. I really like this next one, creating that moving to city guide. This can tie a couple of these together, whether it's a PDF, a video, a combination of both. What you're trying to do is position yourself as the go-to resource for buyers in the area. So a relocation guide can attract buyers from outside your area. So I work with a guy whose sole mission is YouTube video, and it's just moving to Dallas market that focus on certain neighborhoods, certain events, certain property types, certain things in their market. So people are constantly wanting, what's it like to live in Dallas? They check out his website. It's a team, and they do a great job of this. They make you feel like you are actually there without stepping foot. So if you're thinking about relocating, you'll watch his videos, you'll call him, hey, Levi, I've seen 100 of your videos. I want to work with you as we are moving to Dallas or visiting Dallas. We love what you've done, and now we want to move there ourselves. So you want to include insights on neighborhoods, schools, parks, local hotspots. There are areas where some buyers are more interested than others. Just a cautionary note here. It really applies to everything we're talking about, but consider fair housing. The last thing you want to do is tie a specific property to a specific school or religious institution and say this type of buyer is who should buy this specific property. So check with your broker, check with your mentor on the best ways to make sure fair housing is always followed in each one of these. But there are ways to target your market without talking specific listings and alienating certain buyers. But getting back to their moving guide here, you can do a free downloadable PDF. You can put it behind some sort of wall. You get an email address. I don't like to do that, but I know agents who've had good luck with that. It can be, again, that YouTube example. It can be video in tandem, but you're just trying to build your lead database. You're also becoming a market expert by putting out this material. If it's generic and it's not well done, it's not going to work here. So think about how you can provide hyper local information to that target audience, whether it's somebody who's never stepped foot in that market or somebody who's looking to move across town, one village or one neighborhood to another. So what's one resource that you could add to your guide to make it invaluable or make it stand out from any of the other agents working in your market? Next, I think we've got the most, yes, we've got 4 under tech and innovation, using VR tours. This where you're comfortable with technology. So can it, is it a simple taking your video or taking your photos from your listing, and there's, again, I won't highlight any specific apps or services, but your MLS probably allows you to make floor plans, make 3D floor plans from those from those photos. You can do videos, actual VR walkthroughs. Things like VR tours provide immersive property experiences. So again, if someone's relocated, they might have the ability to step in the building beforehand. So how can you give them that experience? It allows buyers to explore these homes from anywhere, especially impactful for those remote buyers when they are relocating. So for example, imagine a buyer moving from another state. Instead of scheduling multiple trips, they can explore properties in detail from their own home. This again gives them on demand when they want to do it. They don't have to get on a plane and have to drive 8 hours. You are giving them that luxury. They will remember that. So invest in a 360-degree camera. One way to do it. A much better way to do it is partner with that service provider. Maybe somebody locally. This might check a few of these boxes. If there's somebody in your market who's really good at this, create those tours. Promote it on your website, on socials, listings. I know an agent in Florida who found success by just offering VR tours of luxury properties. He had a partner do this with him, and he did it with listings that were for other agents within his brokerage and attracted buyers from across the globe. He has a reputation for this because he had the tools and he was out in front of this in the VR piece. So what property in your current inventory, if you have some, could benefit from a VR tour stand out? Do you know who to call? What that tour would look like? How can you make that enhanced and elevated experience that others are not providing for potential buyers? Data-driven marketing. So this is similar to VR. There's different levels of data that you're comfortable with. Find a tool, find out data, find out an algorithm that is useful for you, whether it's targeting properties, targeting agents, targeting buyers, and targeting listings, and put it into place. So what if you could predict your next client before they contacted you? That's the kind of what we're trying to get to. So data, uses, especially data marketing, will use analytics to identify potential sellers and buyers and allows you to target them effectively. Again, there's a bunch of tools out there with predictive analytics that can flag homeowners likely to sell based on criteria. How long have they been in their home? What's happening in their zip code, their market? What are the mortgage conditions of a specific property? And what are the trends of that market? There's platforms, SmartZip, Remine, Remini, I never know how to pronounce that, Revaluate, to gather insights and target campaigns directly to these high potential leads. For example, I know of an agent who used a predictive analysis to identify and target downsizing homeowners in a specific neighborhood, and that led to 2 new listings a month because they were out in front of this unit is likely to sell because these homeowners fit this description that I've got in my analytics. They've had their mortgage for X amount of time. They have recently retired. They're this age. They've had kids go up to college. How can I market to them? Just quickly, I know another agent in California whose thing was to actually ride a bike through the neighborhoods around May time, maybe even earlier, April, May, when parents would put up, "Congratulations, graduate." They know their kid's leaving high school to go to college. So is there somebody looking to downsize? And so riding the bike, he had that face to face, and then he can make the call saying, I noticed that you had a graduate sign. Are you interested in a downsizing property? Are you thinking about putting your home on the market? It's just a natural conversation, a starting point. So think about what type of analysis, what type of tools could provide this level of information that would be useful to you. What pieces of information would you want to know? How can you find it out? How can you be proactive and get to these potential listings before they hit the market? This one's I found really interesting. Optimizing for voice search. Hey Siri, hey Google, uh, hey ChatGPT, find me the best real estate. And there goes my phone right there. Uh, Find me the best real estate agent near me. Would your name come up? Probably not. How can you optimize your site with this rise of voice search? So optimizing your content for phrases people actually say out loud is really critical. Voice searches are conversational and often local. So instead of searching best agent, some might say things like, "Who's a top rated agent near me?" Would that trigger uh, your website? Would it trigger any of your content? That's what you want to optimize. This might be something that falls in your wheelhouse, something that you can do or are doing. This might be worth seeing if there is a professional out there to optimize your social or your web for that. So update your website with natural language keywords such as top agent, the city, the town you work in, the specific market, something like best homes for sale near this neighborhood. Also ensure that your GMB, your Google My Business profile is updated with accurate contact information and client reviews. I know that can be tricky. I've had difficulty doing that myself. So I know how difficult some of this stuff is. That's where it might make sense to delegate and hire a professional. Lastly, think about how can you adjust your online content today to capture that voice search traffic, where it's a little different, like a little more conversational. Do you have those search terms highlighted and so forth? Uh, like we're doing right now, host live Q&A type sessions. This is long form material that can be cut down into shorter, that can be used multi different in different ways. It can always be repackaged. It's a great way to build trust and engagement, especially when you go live. It shows that you're confident that you can talk about these things. So hosting a live session, having them again on demand when people want to watch them. For example, hosting a session answering common questions like, "Is now a good time to sell? What's the first step for buying a home?" As we start off, "Hey, I keep seeing these NAR settlement articles everywhere. What does this mean for me? Does this mean I don't have to pay the buyer's commission anymore? I'm a buyer. Why do I have to pay this now?" Getting your target buyers and sellers the information they're looking for. So as I say that, you think back to your value proposition, being an expert in your market, having that video. There's a few of these things that you can stack up on each other and say, all right, now I can have all of these tactics in place, and it really fits to my strategy to do X. So think about how you can stack these things for really exponential type results here. Uh, so promote your live sessions in advance. Use real client questions to save the discussion. If you're going to use names, make sure you have permission to do so. After going live, save it. Um, you know, Replay it. That on demand is a big piece. And of one agent who gained 10 new buyer leads from a single Instagram live, they did a Q&A, just answering questions about down payments. When you start talking about what is escrow, what is earnest money, why is there interest in putting down payment up front versus after purchase and sale? Just answering questions that people outside of real estate, they may not know. Again, going back to that first time buyer, what type of questions might they have? What questions do you hear most from your clients are most common? How can you answer them? If one person has that question, there's probably 10 others. So keeping a running log of what questions you're asked, and then the ones that come most frequently, putting content around that, specifically live when you can. All right, we're in the home stretch here to the last category of what I've called Let's Get Personal. First being one that you've heard plenty of times, but not a lot of people do, the handwritten notes. This digital world, personal touch of handwritten notes stands out. They show genuine appreciation and leave a lasting impression on clients. Sending thank you notes after anything that you want to say thank you for is valuable. It sticks out. Personalizing it is even more important. If it's generic, it's likely to end up in the trash can. But I know of an agent that found their handwritten notes were often kept because they included something specific. She would put something specific in that note, referencing their relationship long, you know, they would keep long after the transaction that they would remember about a certain conversation they had, something funny that happened during a showing, or that time we never thought that the property was going to sell because X, Y, and Z, as opposed to congratulations on your new home. You're going to love it there. Remember to call me next time you want to buy or sell property. Um, so if you have the time and you are going to do handwritten notes, go the extra mile, make it specific to the recipient. If you're going to just uh, make it generic, I would say probably don't even waste your time on the handwritten notes. When was the last time you sent a handwritten note? When was the time you received one? Did you remember it? I know plenty of people who don't care for them either. So make sure that if you are going to put the time in, that it is both personalized and somebody who likely will appreciate it. Um, 15, be charitable. Want to make an impact beyond real estate? Give back to your community. Being charitable not only helps your community, but also establishes you as trusted and a caring person. Be genuine here. If you're going to do this just to check the box or just for leads, don't do this. Find a charity or an organization that aligns with your beliefs, something that's personally of interest to you, and get involved. For instance, sponsor a local sports team, host a fundraiser, collaborate, help. If you're good at raising funds, help them do that, but don't do it just to say you're being charitable or just to get leads. The worst thing you can do. There's an agent I know who donates a portion of each of his commission to a local food bank, sharing that story with their clients. Again, if that's not done well, it looks pathetic and it's really poor. Like, I give money to this organization. Look how good I am. That is not the message you want to deliver. I do this because it's important to me. Here's going back to storytelling. Here's a story of how I got involved. Here's why I do it. And you should do it too. Uh, you don't need to say, come work with me because I'm charitable. This is something that happens at that next level, that you show up to these events, you are genuinely interested, you're going to meet people, people are going to take notice of what you do, how you show up, how you are genuinely caring about what you're doing, and how that this can become something that will also be the way that you take care of the real estate transaction, that you care for the details, that you show up on time, that you're somebody that's trustworthy, you're somebody who's loyal, you're somebody who does good things, you care about the community. So think of a cause that's close to your heart that you can support as part of your business. These things should be aligned. It shouldn't be fake, and do not do it solely to benefit your business. If you do, just skip this step altogether. And the last one, number 16, I'm calling it the be the go-to resource. Think of being the first name pops in people's minds when they think real estate, being that go-to expert. So you hear that all the time, but how do you do that? Positioning yourself as that trusted advisor ensures that you're top of mind. I share this all the time. Each client that you work with, they probably know 10 realtors. So how do you at least stay on top of mind from the other 9 that they know? Knowing who your target is, knowing your value proposition will help you there. So when they're ready to buy or sell, they'll think of you. Offering advice on topics that are specific to your niche, answering those questions, utilizing 2 or 3 or 4 of the things we've talked about today, again, stacking them here. Think of like a creative monthly email newsletter with tips, answering those questions, establishing yourself as that professional, how you can help a certain client do a certain thing by doing X. That's what being the go-to is. And you want to have that message conveyed in as many places consistently as possible so they keep hearing it. Think, what's the one question you're frequently asked, the topic or the topic that most comes up. That should be your next blog post, your video, your newsletter, your live, and kind of go from there. So there is a quick overview of the 16 tactics that you can put into place to fit into a bigger, larger strategy post NAR settlement to stand out from the other agents. In closing, we've covered the 16, not just 12 ways to stand out in your market. From start off with mastering that unique value proposition, leveraging VR tours, building community connections, and so forth. Each one of them has actionable tactics. If it makes sense to you, put it into play. They're impactful and they're designed to help build trust and grow your business today and going forward. It is not going to happen overnight, but you can start today to start these things, or you can tweak some of the things that you're doing to better accomplish the goals that you're looking to have for your business. Which of these can you start implementing this week? So look to finish 24 strong and crush 2025. Just wrapping up, two quick notes. Let me see, and I have not checked the questions. Okay, good. No questions came in. So I don't feel bad about not checking it. So that's a good thing. Two last things to wrap up. Next week, we will have a roundtable call. We'll not have this webinar format, so it'll be not a recorded call. I'll post that in the community notes. Our last webinar of the year will be December 20th. That's a Friday, not a Thursday. We'll go live probably a little earlier than 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but we'll look on the 20th for that. And then I'm working on 2 exciting how-to guides that can transform your real estate business. The first is 5 steps to selling any listing. I've talked about some of that in our community, but if you're interested in that, it's a system that works whether you're just starting out, whether you kind of hit a wall, whether you're looking to change your target market, increase your business, maybe you've brought on a new agent, give you results and elevate the things that you're doing. The second is 90 days to your first or next $1 million listing. It's a step-by-step, a daily action guide to secure those high-value listings fairly quickly in that 90-day window. If you like early access, have thoughts, want to talk about any of that, let me know. And I look forward to sharing them with everybody in the Academy. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And until next time, I'm Mike from Accomplished RE.